Hello and welcome to what is usually Ask Away. And since we didn't have very many questions this week, I thought I would run through everything really quickly, and then we're just going to head right into the Tiger King Netflix party. So if you're joining us for the Tiger King Netflix party, step one, go ahead and sign into your Netflix account right now. Look for the password. I had trouble doing this too because it's auto-programmed in my TV, but not on my computer. And you will get to experience this with Dalia for the first time. How she's managed to hold out for so long, I have no idea. But also go ahead and grab the 2 documents that I pasted in quarantine. You've got the recipe for the drink, and I got a mason jar full over here, and Lord knows I'm going to need it. And we've also got the game that we're going to be playing while all of this gloriousness happens in real time. But first, let me run through the weekly wins. We've got some really nice ones because we got to start. Days like today, we just got to start with the good stuff. So here are the weekly wins. Jennifer is prioritizing her mental health, and we are proud of you for that, Jennifer. God knows that all of our mental health is challenged at this time, and there's nothing wrong with prioritizing that and seeking out what you need. I wish more people would do that, and more people would be open about that. If I haven't been clear enough, if you missed it, I see a therapist every week, and I upped my Lexapro when all this started. Yay! That's why I'm so awesome. So, I mean, that's not the only reason why, but that's one of them for sure. In Rebuild, Christine Lancaster, happy birthday. And I can tell you, because I work closely with Christine, that she's had some very good runs. She's had a very good streak of them. And I'm excited for you, Christine. Best birthday ever. Congratulations. Brenda is showing up for herself and taking care of herself for the first time in her adult life. And I know how hard you've had to adult, Brenda, and how hard you've had to take care of the people around you. So I'm proud and excited that you're in a period where you can really prioritize yourself. That's terrific. And I love being able to support all people, but especially people carrying burdens as large as yours. Melissa Yakuzo is reestablishing her running habit after 6 months of not running regularly, and we are here for that. If you are not able to establish anything regular, we're here for that too. Just saying, if part of reclaiming your time means reclaiming your space on the road in your running clothes, shoot yeah, let's do that. Maintain. Erin O'Berry Nason's spring race was canceled, but she ran her own 16-mile race anyways. Yay! Her family joined her for the last few miles, and her friends made signs and cheered for her. And we'll be sharing, hopefully, a couple of those pictures on our Instagram account once I change password again, because evidently I've locked myself out of that. Yay! I love being old. I've turned into my mother. Trisha Mitchell ran a virtual 5K this week. Way to go, Trisha. And Amy Nicole took care of herself by heading home to be with her family. She is now getting back in the running groove. Way to go. Amy is one of our resident extroverts who loves hugs and thrives on being around and touching people. And I respect that, but I got too many people wanting to touch me in this house as it is, so it's not my life. But I am proud of you, Amy, for both prioritizing yourself, recognizing that need, and getting into a house full of people where you can be around people all the time. Because I understand how extroverts could be going crazy at home. It's not just a meme. That stuff is real. Now, for the fun part of this evening, take a deep breath. We have 2 questions in Ask Away. Going to double check. First one, I've got 2 questions here. So first, since all my upcoming races have been canceled, I've been thinking more about improving my easy effort pace. Depending on the day, my pace at 140 is anywhere from 12:15 to 13:30. I've been in maintain for 2 months, and before that did heart rate training on and off for 2.5 years. My easy effort pace hasn't changed much over that time. Does a faster pace at 140 come from any specific type of workout or just more running consistency? The key to this really is strength. The thing about your easy effort pace and your heart rate is that a lot can get in the way. So in a time when you're extremely stressed out and have a lot on your plate and a lot going on, your heart rate will be faster and your whole body is going to be basically in overdrive before you even get started. So I wouldn't say that you're not necessarily getting faster. I just don't know that we've cleared out all the white noise yet. So do as much as you can to clear out all the white noise, meaning get all the sleep, take care of yourself, eat, Eat reasonably. Not saying you have to eat perfectly, like there is no but make sure you're eating enough for sure. Definitely enough protein. And the key to everything, if this was a F of X to take you back to algebra that you probably tell your kids, you'll never use that in the real world anyway. Liars. Algebra is everything. It's logic, it's brilliant, it's wonderful, and we all use it on some level every single day. F of X is a function of strength. So faster is a function of strength, always, always, always. And there will be a lot of wiggling in there, depending on how, whether or not you've been taking care of yourself, and what else is going on in your life, how stressed out you are. So not to say like you can't pursue that at this time, you can, just understand there's going to be a lot working against you. And so try not to be too hard on yourself. If your easy effort pace does not make huge strides during this period. That said, if the person asking this question is in a position where you have a bit more free time now than you have before and want to take strength a little more seriously now than you have before, take a look at hashtag outdorphins. See, we've got endorphins and then endorphins and then outdoor funds. Yay, in quarantine. And Lindsay Warren of Collie Strength here in Denver has been giving us some strength circuits, short 10 to 20 minutes that we can perform on our own. And they hurt a lot. And you get to watch me like cry while she makes me do them. You can watch the volunteers. That's on Wednesday. And then on Saturday morning, you can watch the volunteers sweat through them with me. I will do them again one more time on Monday. Feel free to join us for that. And if you want more, reach out. We're going to be releasing a formal strength program with Lindsay a little bit later this year after we get through the quarantine. If this goes well. And by the way, if that sounds good to you, if you want more strength, if you'd be interested in a strength subscription, let me know. And maybe we can roll that out sooner. It's not been the top of the priority list, but I know we've got a couple that have been asking for it. Okay. That is question 1. Here's question 2. Coach MK, it seems like we're all supposed to be wearing face masks every time we leave the house, every time we perform essential activities. I'm grateful that running and jogging, daily exercise, is on the essential activities list. Do I have to wear a mask while I run? Do you wear a mask while you run? Fun question. Lot there. These questions are submitted independently. What is this? I love that, Francine. Thank you. In light of the fact that we're a growing company, when our base is changing and my staff are changing too, I realized that I would be remiss if I answered this question by myself. The short answer is this. If you have no idea why there would be a question about it, then wear a mask while you run. Here to tell you a couple of very valid reasons why not all people will be running in masks right now, is our sponsored athlete. Oops, there she is. Nikia. Hi, Nikia.
Hi.
Sorry, Dalia. I'm still learning the software. I apologize.
Okay.
So Nikia, are you tell us what you really think?
As for me, I will not be wearing a mask while running. And the reason for that is I tend to run at usually before dawn. And I usually have a very large spotlight on my chest. And because I am not the speediest, my pace is fine for me, but it also might look like more of a shuffle than a run. I actually give off the appearance that I am a robber. I run in neighborhoods that don't necessarily look like I belong, even though I very much live in the community that I run in. I have had in the past, when I go out, especially on those early mornings, usually 5:30 is usually the latest that I start, except for quarantine time. I've had people lock their cars and beep their car horns from their house when I run in the morning because I look like I am trying to peek into cars because I'm running on a sidewalk in a neighborhood. So for me, and given the time of day and how the appearance of it, being an African-American woman, I will not be wearing a mask while running as long as I can help it. Now, if it becomes one of those things where it is you absolutely must, then I will probably wear a buff. And it'll probably have fun colors and things. I have tons of them from races that, clearly say marathon, health group, this and this and this. Now, will I wear a mask when I go to the store? Yes, because I feel like my appearance will give off that I'm not trying to rob the place. I've also bought a real mask, like one of the ones that look sort of medical like, so that it doesn't get confused. But as for a bandana of any color, I will not be wearing that across my face at any time or running. So there might be people that are not into wearing a bandana or even a face covering because of the image that it gives off, especially depending on where you live, incidences that you've had before. So just keep that in mind if you want to fuss at somebody for not wearing a mask while they're running, because sometimes it might for them be a safety issue. And then, other folks, if they have a claustrophobic issue or, something about like their airway being covered, they might also opt out of wearing a mask. Now, that being said, when I'm running, people don't tend to be out and about. But as we've seen, there's been an uptick of, your afternoon leisurely dog walkers, miscellaneous people. So I would just recommend that if you're not going to wear a mask, go out at a time that it's not going to be super populated in your area, so that you are avoiding those droplets and things that might be in the air. But if you're going to go out and it's going to be on a crowded trail, put it around, like go ahead and wear it, or test something out that will allow you to cover your face.
So that's a lot. What kind of mask do you wear when you go to the store? I'm just curious.
I got one from Shop Vita. Now currently I'm wearing a buff, a Blue Ridge Marathon buff that has been in my wheelhouse for a while. And so I went through actually all of that and decided it was time to wash it all. And I was like, oh, great. I'll go ahead and use this to cover my face for this weekend. But I have ordered a mask from Shop Vita. They're currently running a sale. And then it also has the filter in it is the important piece, and they sell those as well. And they're still in stock. So I would check them out if you're looking for one that's not sports grade. But the buffs, from what I've heard, are great to just cover your face. But they are not medical grade, so I wouldn't use them if you are a healthcare professional. They posted that on their page, probably because of lawyers.
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I spoke with, we have a whole lot of doctors in our running community. So I spoke with one on the phone before all of this to be like, my gut is no, I have not been running in a mask, but I also don't run with people or near people. And, I'm not, I'm following Singapore rules. I'm not spitting on the ground. I'm spitting in my shirt, which is disgusting, and blowing my nose in my shirt, which is not a problem for me, but at least I'm not leaving it on the ground around me, which feels like that's, some days that's kind of the best you can do, especially with all the pollen in the air. But yeah, I think if you really want to wear a mask, if you are there, number one, remember please that there are medical professionals that do not have access to N95 masks at the moment. So even if you have one, I would hesitate to wear it out in public. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. If you're seen wearing one, I'm not about public shaming. I have very strong feelings against it, but that's one where I'm like, ooh, it's going to be really hard to defend wearing that in public if you're not a doctor, and in some context. So if you really want to wear a mask, or if you are nervous, I can't, that link is so long, I'll fit it in one comment. Google altitude masks, and if you Google high altitude training mask, you'll see why. These were developed about 4 or 5 years ago to be worn at sea level, and it makes it really hard to breathe, which is supposed to. Now, the science behind it is kind of like, I'm not going to be like, Nakia, okay, you need to invest $60 in this hypoxic mask for hypoxic training. No, I mean, when people are like, can I do this? I'm like, please, God, no. Like, there's so many ways to spend $60 in this economy. Thank you for giving some fitness protection, but no, please don't spend it on this mask. The science behind it is a little, but at the end of the day, it is a mask. So I don't know, it's how much protection. When we're wearing masks, again, to be really clear, it's not about protecting you. It's about protecting people from your droplets. So if you let's go. If you must wear a mask, go with one of these high altitude masks. They have not sold out anywhere. You can still get them on Amazon in 2-day delivery. You can get them from Dick's Sporting Goods curbside pretty much everywhere.
Suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend anyone perform surgery in one, but if anything, you're going to look like Hannibal Lecter, and no one's going to talk to you if you show up in one of these masks. But the recommendations that I've been seeing flying around the internet, like wear a balaclava. I'm like, Nakia, please don't wear I'm not here to tell you what to feel or how to deal, but I'm guessing it probably isn't a good idea
for you. On his face.
Yeah. Yeah,
I actually look like a robber.
Well, I think a lot of people do, and there's just different ramifications for different folks. So whenever I'm thinking about my answers, I pivot to my sponsored athletes. Would I tell Nakia to do this? No. No.
Just in case. And honestly, I mean, and it's one of those things where it's thinking about how you can be viewed, and this is something that we regularly monitor. I mean, in this body. I regularly monitor, how I'm viewed by the outside world. But that's also my choice, and I understand, and I also make, provisions to get out there early or go later at night and make sure I'm well lit. And so that's what for me. But I will be wearing one when I go to the store, or when I'm coming in contact with people. That 100% will be wearing something to cover my face. But I don't tend to come in contact with a lot of people because I work from home and I live alone.
So you're bragging is what you're doing.
I'm enjoying this quarantine. I am having a blast.
You're the opposite of Amy. Yeah. There's Dalia comment. You definitely don't look like a robber. It's because they don't know you.
I'm rather bubbly, and I'm usually, but if you weren't paying attention and just saw someone in a mask, and with a spotlight on their chest, and my chest is rather pronounced,
and a backpack. If you weren't a runner and saw it, it could look like any sort of thing you wanted to see if you were scared. I mean, you are kind of a thief, Nakia, because what you've stolen is my heart. FYI. That is why she's one of our sponsored athletes. Thank you, Nakia, for sharing that with us. Thank you for answering that question. I was like, I could talk about anything, but sometimes I don't need to be the one speaking. And I appreciate you being willing to step in. But I also understand you do not necessarily want to watch Tiger King.
Again, I've watched it once, and what a ride! What a ride!
And I mean, I love getting this question, considering what we're about to pivot into, because I mean, I can't imagine if we say that we can't make it about race, but everything is about race, man. Can you imagine Tiger King happening with Black people?
No, and actually, I'm really grateful that absolutely no one in this entire show is Black. And honestly, it's really what we needed. Because Dalia is watching it for the first time, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh girl, you are in for a ride. It literally every time you think okay, it's gonna pivot.
Oh, sorry, I'm adding a comment.
Every time it looks like it's going to pivot, it doesn't. It just gets every character is worse than the last.
Wait, but these people are from Florida, right?
Oklahoma.
What? Okay, yeah. I am surprised. I just assumed from the photos. I'm like, I know these people. I have to learn some things. I just was adding that it's crazy. There you go. There's my comment. It's just so unfair. Everybody is going through the same thing right now, but there's added complications depending on the level of crap and abuse the country you live in likes to heap on you. And I saw a post the other day trying to say that we're post-racial because a lot of people who are in marginalized groups are thriving. But that message that so many people believe, the ridiculous thing is, of course I can thrive. I'm a fighter and I'm resilient. And there are things that the human mind does in response to ongoing abuse, which is why you find, there you go. You see tight-knit communities among Black Americans. You see a way of relating to each other that you don't see among other groups. And so much of that is in response to the abuse that you feel like you're experiencing as a group. So I'm certainly not saying, oh, it's all bad, woe is me, but it's real. And it is freaking ridiculous that I have to worry that when I'm exercising, I may be approached by the police. I used to take a break in the same spot that all my white coworkers took a break in, like right outside of our parking lot, because the clients would literally try and talk to us, even if we were sitting in the car on the phone. So we would go like to this empty lot right beside it. Well, why did the police come out there? And even the police, because I'm female, I know if they had approached a Black male, it would have been different. But because I'm female, when they approached, they were like, I'm sorry, this lady will not stop calling. I know she can see me right now. I just have to come out here and see what you're doing. And they're like, oh, I see your uniform. You're on a break. And then I stopped taking my break there because I feel like I'm being watched. I'm trying to live my freaking life. And then to have other people try and undermine what I know to be true, saying, you're not experiencing that. Are you sure you misunderstand that, Nakia? What would make you think that? Who told you that? Who has ever said anything to you? Can you prove to me that you've experienced racism? You know, like who needs it at this point?
Especially not right now. We're in a crisis.
Yes, we're in a crisis. We don't have time for this. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm tired of explaining to y'all that racism is real. I'm tired of explaining to the cops, like, I'm exercising, buzz off. This is why when you see people like mouthing off in these clips you see online, and they're just like losing their freaking mind, and it looks like nothing really happened. And all of the people who haven't felt harassed every time they've left their house since, I don't know, kindergarten, are saying, well, they should have been more respectful, or they should have said this, or they should have said that, and they wouldn't have gotten in trouble. It wouldn't have escalated. They wouldn't have gotten beaten, you know, but now we finally see clips where people are still saying, yes, sir, and being beaten. So there went that argument.
Yep.
But in addition to that, you don't know what the experience of that constant abuse is. And it is abuse. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even going to say, in the 90s, we used to call it racial insensitivity. It's abuse. And if you abuse somebody for years and years and years, and then suddenly they've had enough because you have all the regular pressure plus, because we're all going through COVID-19 plus. I know for me, because I'm not a male, again, I know this is different, because my brother, he wouldn't wear the mask. He won't come home to the United States because of police violence. He's like, I'm not trying to die. He's like, maybe when I'm super, super old and my hair is all gray, maybe then it'll be okay. But that's literally why he won't live in the United States.
Which is fair. And I mean, I like my dad, brother, boyfriend, all those folks. It's something that I think about every time. Like if my boyfriend doesn't text back in a couple hours, it's like, oh God, is he okay? Like, what happened? And this is something that we continuously live with. And even, you know, yes, I live in a town where I can say that we have a very diverse police force. I have great friends that are on the police force, and I trust them. I know them, and honestly, probably most of the force would be like, oh, like she's in Westover Hills, okay. Oh, that's just Nakia. She's not gonna rob you. Like, they know because they've seen me out for years, and they wave. But at the same time, I also know a lot of people in that neighborhood have had car break-ins, and so they're super vigilant. Everybody's got a camera. Some of these houses I run past, the big old light comes on because it's setting off their camera, and you know, like, I'm pretty sure I have been recorded by half the city at this point because. Every time one of those big old lights comes on, it's like,
they figure you're working on a long game. They're like, yeah, she's up to something. I mean, I know it looks like she's just been exercising consistently for months, but no, this is a long game.
She's scoping it out.
She's scoping it out. You know, it's just, I can't even. I just.
You have to laugh or you cry. You do, because
I do.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and then everybody finds coping mechanisms and you learn to work around it. So you form community and now people know who you are, and that's a way that you're finding to protect yourself. And I would say, just like we said before, when people want to shame or police what other people are doing, like if you're worried about why somebody of color isn't wearing a mask, Worry about yourself. Like, this is an ongoing theme. People thinking they need to police my behavior. They don't know me. Like, worry about yourself. You don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Worry about yourself. And then question why you would feel so. They're not, I don't think it's our audience, but it's certainly people who are out there in the world, whatever, where I've seen them you'll come up to a Black child and just start telling them what to do. Or you'll come up, right, or come up to someone in their early 20s and just start telling them what to do. Why do you feel so comfortable policing my behavior? I'm not comfortable with it. You know, why do you feel so comfortable coming up to me and touching my hair without permission? Why do you feel so comfortable constantly checking my behavior? Worry about yourself, okay? Leave us alone.
And don't touch me if you don't know me. It's just weird. Like, it's just,
yeah.
Because I'm sure that somebody in this group has felt that, like a big thing I would equate it to is almost like pregnant women. Like, when people want to like walk up and touch a pregnant woman, and I'm like, you don't know that lady. Like, why do you think it's okay?
Yeah. Because it's a female body, and females in general are not, their body's not their own. If men got pregnant, nobody would be touching their stomach without permission. You know, it just wouldn't be a thing.
It makes no sense. So if you ever want to, if you reflect on it in that way and just say, like, wait a minute, is this something that I would want happening to me? And I think if people thought about that, I think they call it looking glass self in sociology. If they thought about themselves in the same way, then it would help them to understand and have that empathy on, like, oh, that's why you shouldn't do that. But at the same time, just do what works for you, and then just keep other people in mind.
Say it. If y'all can see if you put one of these on your face, can y'all see that?
Horrible. What was the name of that character who Batman was trying to get?
These are the hypoxic masks. If you must wear a mask, wear that. No one will touch you. Hopefully they won't talk to you. They will let you keep on running.
The altitude mask?
Yes. Isn't that
that thing is wild.
No. Good luck. Well, people won't talk to you, but they might have to call for help when you pass out trying to do your groceries with that thing on.
Right.
I like that. Right. Thank you, Facebook user. Facts.
Because I've seen it, and I actually had a friend like go back and try and touch the and they were like, well, what are you doing? She's like, you touched me first.
Yeah.
If that has happened to you,
I would do that too when I was pregnant.
Like, it's weird. It's so weird. Why would you
it's weird because you know that you're a complete person.
True.
It's not weird to that person because subconsciously it's no more harmful than if you want to pet a cute puppy. How am I being bad? It's cute. I want to touch it. Autonomy. What's that? It's a puppy. I'm not a puppy. I'm a person. I'm a grown ass person, and you don't get to touch without consent. Back it up.
Well, another point I wanted to bring up too is that and then we probably need to move on to the Tiger King viewing party before I get you guys more wound up. I definitely wanted to Coach Lovey had a lot to say. She's sorry she couldn't be here tonight. Her uncle passed away from complications from COVID-19 today. But we are definitely going to come back together later this week and discuss this in depth. Hopefully, would you mind joining us, Nakia? And so we'll have a roundtable discussion about all these factors. But be careful shaming anyone in public if they're not wearing a mask. There's a reason. One, they're hard to get right now. Two, if you had worn a mask before you had your life-changing septum surgery, Dalia, it's hard to breathe in one, right?
I had to wear them. I still had to wear them because of the pollen. So I actually have been wearing masks in public for I'm going on 2 years. But the pollen, I'm allergic to everything. According to the test, even though they didn't test me for everything in the world, but everything they tested me for that was relevant to my region, I was positive for everything. When they tried to tell me I didn't need another cat, that's why I was like, I'm getting out of here. I just got to do me. I'm wearing my mask. I'm getting my cat. I'm hoping that this whole crisis isn't going to interfere with my cats being born. But anyway, people really do give you weird looks, but I find the more medical the mask looks,
the better.
Less likely, yeah. People probably think you're sickly or whatever. Who knows? But if I was male, I would be a lot more worried. And my brother's solution was just like, don't live in the United States.
Honestly, not a bad solution if you got the funds.
Yeah.
Also, they literally had this guy on the news, like rolling up a bandana, and it was like a red bandana, and I'm like, no,
oh hell no, yeah, I did see that.
killed.
Even in that small town I work in Middle Georgia, even when we were trying to figure out our deliveries, we were like, we don't know, because almost none of us are from there, and the people that are from there, they don't live that life. So we're like, okay, so the kids said something about a gang. It's over here and it's over there. We're trying not to make the kids have to cross gang lines to get their food. So much drama. And you definitely don't want to wear a mask that unintentionally makes you look like you're affiliated with a group you're not affiliated with. So kids living in those neighborhoods have even more things to contend with. So I'm not complaining. It's just rough all over.
Yeah. It's wild. And one of those things, I think that's the thing where a lot of people forget those pieces of sensitivity where they're like, oh, just, cut up a shirt and put it over your, I mean, even some of the guidelines, I'm like, what if you don't have a bandana? Or what if the bandana you own is the color of the territory? Like there's so many pieces of things where I'm like, wow, this, I don't know if you want me to use this term here, but like the white collar quarantine. And I would love to get into that on the podcast.
Yeah, that's an excellent segue. That's an excellent segue. Yeah, because I have so many thoughts. But at the same time, you can't create content that's meant for everybody. And we've gotten used to tailoring the information we hear to ourselves. But I think it's nice for a content creator like you, MK, to be trying to touch on the fact that not everyone can use this advice, acknowledging that not everybody's a cisgendered, thin, white lady who's obviously just exercising.
Well, I have to touch that since I can't touch your hair.
There you go. Well, you can with permission. You can with permission. Can you imagine? Actually, it's probably happened to you because your hair's so thick. I'm sure people come up to you and touch your hair.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Oh, you do that. I'm like, it's called a blow dryer. And I worship Satan. But that's that, and I know that's privilege too. Like I can just act balls out and make people like not want to talk to me. But the fact that I've had to cultivate that because as a white woman, when you say no, it makes people really angry. So I just make them not want to talk to me. I'm good at that, and it's a lot of fun. It's like an ongoing game the video game that is my life.
I really love that, and I worship Satan. That's a nice little extra.
Because that's pretty overall, like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's when they start.
Like, and we're done.
Oh man, Lyft drivers too are the worst. Like getting in taxis when I just don't want to be talked to or don't have a conversation. I'm good at shutting all that down. But I did not want to shut anyone down with all of this amazingness because this was such good information. And I know that as long as these questions are submitted anonymously, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm speaking to Cade as well as, and that's half the reason I have sponsored athletes is because I want people to, when they think of us and when they think of a runner and they think about running advice, that they're running it past, would I say this to Nakia? Would I say this to Cade? Does this rule include Nakia? Does this rule exclude Nakia or Cade or Amy or any of our sponsored athletes? So it was more to be a thought piece because I think by sponsoring you, we are unquestionably solidifying what we believe is your rightful space in this sport. And I can't do that without making sure that every word that comes out of my mouth is words that I would be comfortable directing at you and advice that I would be comfortable giving you. And this was a topic where I'm like, I don't think I need to be speaking on this.
It could have been a simple answer of like, oh yeah, definitely get a buff and then call it a day. But then
then we miss the opportunity to tell everybody. Yeah.
There's a whole subset of people and I mean, I know some runners in town, they're, standard middle-aged white woman who she was like, no, I'm not wearing a mask because I can't breathe. And I was like, honestly, like there's so many like
I get it.
to it. And I think that's the hardest part with any program like this is to try and make sure that you're also speaking to an overall audience rather than just being like, yeah, girl, just test it out and see what works.
Well, I think that's the complexity that's unique to the United States, because as aware as we are of the problems that we have here, the fact that it's even a discussion is kind of unique to the US. And the fact that people would even attempt to try and be more inclusive, I think is again unique to the US, because I see how, man, oh boy, we think it's rough here. It's like the civil rights movement didn't happen all over the country. I mean, the world. Well, sometimes the country.
It didn't happen all over the country. I mean, that was not a Freudian slip.
Yeah. Where did you say? What taught you a lot?
My trip to Berlin to A, run a race, and then B, just be in Berlin taught me so much. Because
man,
a lot of time, I mean, I've been abroad. It's not like I had never been, but I think now as an adult, because every time I'd gone, England, Ireland, Wales, I was, 12. Like at that point, you're like, oh, like we just went on a trip and it was spring break and there were sheep. and then meanwhile, I'm going to Berlin and I'm like, this.
Man, that's not good, because they're supposed to be better than so many other people because of their traumatic past. I mean, they actually have laws against things that in the rest of Europe, it's still A-okay. Like you can hang out with your swastika in other countries, but you can't do that in Germany.
Random thought. I'm going to have to Google this. Weren't Milli Vanilli from Germany?
I want to say yes. I'm low-key obsessed with them because they're actually pretty interesting when you look at their whole story. So I really should know the answer to that. But I do know that
they're a German R&B duo from Munich. Sorry.
They take minority to another level, because they talked in some of their interviews about how like they're alone. I mean, that's a whole other issue. And I've heard people who are brown from other parts of the world say that whenever you see Black people in media, it's only Black Americans, and that we culturally dominate media, and that people will try and kind of pattern themselves after what we are doing, but it doesn't make sense because that's not who they are, and they feel lost and disconnected from brown folks. Like, it's really interesting. I'm really glad I live here.
What's interesting is how lost and disconnected from reality you're going to be as soon as we start this viewing.
Yeah, girl, it's wild.
Let's get to it.
Let's next level. Like my boyfriend and I cackled about it for 30. We didn't even watch it together. We watched it separate, and we cackled for 30 solid minutes about like little bits and pieces of it that were just like, I can't believe this happened. I can, but at the same time, it's like, wow, like where are the police? Like I really want to know.
Okay. Is that going to be the theme? Hashtag where are the police?
Where are the police? Yeah.
Where's your mama? Like where?
Oh, his mama shows up. That's episode 4.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's just like y'all taped this willingly.
Oh my God. I just seen so many memes and so many TikToks of people dressed up like Joe, or is that even the right name? I haven't seen it yet. Exotic somebody. So yes, I'm ready. Oh, that was Jody who said it's assault. Exactly. Jody's like very serious about allyship. People should be like Jody.
I love that. Well, unfortunately, if you haven't like signed up with StreamYard, like because we're streaming in the group because I hit the wrong button, we're not live on the Facebook page. I'll post the video there later, though. It doesn't show the identity here of the person.
Oh, okay.
So that's a quirk. We're working through it. I just was too cheap to buy the upgraded software package. I'm like, we're paying $20 a month to get what I want. Shoot, okay, we're going to $50 now as a result of this. Oh my gosh! But I keep an eye on those comments. So if there's any, like for any reason we had a troll in there, that's why I keep looking over. Every time there's a comment, I'm on it so that like I can monitor. I'm not going to put y'all out there and not have your backs on all that too. But thank you so much for
traumatized
telling us. Before you leave, Nakia, if you wouldn't mind sharing with the viewership the link that you sent me to that amazing article by the black attorney who was like, what did I just watch?
Black No Chaser.
Oh, I'm obsessed with that. Okay, I'm into
Black No Chaser
it
has the best explanation of this show that I've ever seen, and I'm like, nailed it. Nailed it. Usually I get I get really defensive whenever people from like the North or the East Coast talk about these types of topics, because it tends, like when you're talking about poor, trashy white people, there's a judgment to it that can be really, really ugly. But the hard thing is, I know people like that. I know all kinds of people like that. And I don't hate those people. I'm friends with them on Facebook and we talk.
That's why I thought this was, I assumed they were in Florida. You know, people in Florida love their exotic animals. You know,
yeah.
It did seem very Florida-like, and then you're like, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I didn't know that was going on in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, but we have to be also really clear. This does not represent Oklahoma. Most people in Oklahoma are not doing this.
No.
Everything about this story is so completely
one of a kind.
I don't even have words.
You get to a point where you're like, I thought for a second that I had like drugged myself. Like that's how wild it was. I was like,
let's get cracking. Y'all, everybody's so curious. Now I'm gonna be very disappointed if this is overhyped because I'm very excited.
It does take a bit. It does take a little while to get into it, because for me, like I got to about like the end of the second episode, and I was like, okay. But once it starts to really escalate quickly, it gets out of hand. And MK, I'm gonna find that link if I can.
If you find it, put it in the comments. Like, I feel like everyone needs to read that. That, you know, Black with No Chaser is amazing to begin with, but that particular
next level.
very well done without being judgmental. And like not to say that, you know, Black people can't be judgmental of white people, but rather like I will take it from it was so well done without being like, what do you expect from people on the Jerry Springer show? Everyone from the red states, like, oh, come on.
No, I know folks from Oklahoma that like are completely opposite of this. So it's like,
the only people I know from Oklahoma led me to believe this couldn't be in Oklahoma. So, but then Honey Boo Boo lives like down the street. So for me,
does she?
Like she lives in the town next to mine.
Oh my God! If you said down the street, I was like, if she lives in your subdivision where everybody has to have a golf cart to get around.
I would know them by now. I would absolutely.
God. Which is funny. I learned how to drive on a golf cart.
Look at you!
We had a golf cart. I don't know how I sent this to you, MK. I'm so confused.
I think it was a text. I'm pretty sure it was a text. Okay. Let me find it. Oh gosh. Okay, where's the link? Where's the link to start the party?
Okay, I put it in on the Facebook page, but let me put it in our chat here. I see Emily is in the chat room. She's ready to watch. Emily S, or at least Emily was there, and then we kept talking about other things. We'll see.
Sorry, Emily.
Let's see if Emily's still with us.
Here we go.
I'm switching tabs to see.
I momentarily felt bad for white people is the title of this article.
It was a moment. It didn't last, but it happened. It happened. That is hysterical. I love it.
Like No Chaser. That's amazing. Where did you post the link, Nakia? Oh, sorry, Dalia.
I put it on where you posted. Wow, we have a lot of content on this page. I feel like I need to start putting my stuff in one thread because I am responsible for a lot of this stuff.
Can you private chat it to me so I can put it here for everyone to join? I'm sorry.
Yeah, where's the link? Let's see if this works. Where is the message that you had up that started with Dalia hasn't had?
All right, so make sure we have that. So we need the Black with No Chaser link needs to be on the YouTube channel too.
All right, Sam. Well, I will leave you all to the watch party.
Yay!
Thank you.
We're gonna be like streaming her face. Blow by blow. I'll be taking screenshots.
Oh, so good.
Yay.
Okay,
I love
you see the link? You know what's funny is Facebook has like suppressed all the old comments. So I'm clicking on it, says 31 comments, and it won't expand. So
Well, it might not expand also because we're live.
That could be it. Okay, Emily's still here. All right, so everybody get in. Let's get cracking. And let's see if it works for you, MK.
Oh, I'm in it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Crazy. What was the beginning?
Old people are nuts, man. And I might be one of them people. I don't know. But they're all half out there, man. They're crazy.
You know, the monkey people are a little bit different.
Okay, boy.
You know, they're kind of strange. But the big cat people are backstabbing pieces of
Okay. Already.
Tiger King stands accused of trying to have a woman killed.
You know, there's not every day that a zookeeper went to prison for murder for hire. So I'm sure y'all got a story to tell.
This is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Grady County Jail. You know what they got me with? 79 years. I went to work every day prepared to die in a tiger cage. Dying doesn't scare me. At all.
Whoa, nice bangs.
Here is a fact that may make you stop for a second. There are more captive tigers in the U.S. today than there are in the wild throughout the world.
Come here, you sexy beast. Hi, little man. Look at a big smile. There you go. Show them applause.
And you would not believe how many sheriffs told me, oh, yeah, just down the street, there's a guy that has a lion or a guy down there that has a tiger. They just feel very strongly that these are mine and nobody's going to take them from me.
I'll say it's real simple. Don't own big, dangerous, exotic animals because it's the time bomb. Everybody has a story. Everybody has owned one. It's always been a bad ending.
I've been doing this 20 years, never even been big.
Our mission is to ban the private possession of these magnificent animals.
She wanted to shut down a zoo, and he wanted her on. The so-called Tiger King.
I have to make sure I'm keeping up with the game.
For hire plot.
Joe Exotic is accused of paying a person to murder Carol Baskin.
Long before he was ever indicted in these charges, Joe Exotic was someone that makes good TV, makes good news. Even if it's a train wreck, you can't help but look.
He's a completely insane, gay, gun-toting, drug addict fanatic.
He wasn't real. He was like a mythical character living out in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma. The well-known zoo owner was taken into custody.
He could be looking at nearly 80 years in prison.
When I leave this park, I wear a bulletproof vest. That is how bad this has gotten.
There is so many strange twists in that story. You would have to write books, volumes of the stuff that went wrong there.
Let me show and tell the whole thing. Because then you'll get it. Then you'll say, Jesus fucking Christ. Why are you in jail?
Apologies if you've not been warned. There's a lot of language in this.
Oh, there goes another.
And how old is she? She's 23 years old. When I started this project, I had no idea it would consume 5 years of my life and end up as ugly as it did. It all began when I was investigating a notorious reptile dealer in South Florida. See how the snake stresses?
I can hear
That's enough to kill
yours a little bit.
3-4 times over. The guy
I
showed
think.
up one day wanting to buy a venomous snake.
Do I need to mute it?
So, yeah, these those
real young ones, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll have to communicate with just facial expressions.
Oh, I'm getting your facial expressions. I've taken multiple screenshots already.
These is rare as the clouded leopard. These are rarer than the clouded leopard. It just blew my mind. What is a snow leopard doing in the back of this guy's hot van?
We never find out.
That set me on this journey to really understand what is going on with people keeping big cats in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, yeah.
Right?
I'm surprised the cats ever look that calm.
Oh, you don't want to take it off. Your whole audience will say, "Oh my God, that guy has a mullet."
No, I like it. I like it.
Oh my God, you're all muddy. You're all muddy, my sexy driver.
You raised these?
These were grown up in my house. Yep. We've got like 8 of them in there now. People every day they're like, "You must have the most incredible life to live with 187 big cats." I started building this in 1999. Believe it or not, this was a completely empty field. And over 16 years, it's grown into this. My name's Joe Exotic, and this is Thunder and Lightning. The only difference between my pet and your pet is mine have 3-inch teeth, and they weigh 400 pounds. Does it feel good to stand on my stage with 500-pound tires and everybody envy you? Absolutely. Okay? I would be the biggest liar if I said no. Now stop. It's a brand new shirt. Now quit.
Do you have a sense of bonding with them, or do you have is there like an emotional connection between you and these cats?
Very emotional connection between me and these cats. Extreme. That's his deal right now. I mean, his whole deal is about just wanting petted and loved on. You know, it's just they're so affectionate.
Are they trying to mate?
Well, they're 2 boys.
Oh, they're 2
We have
boys.
a very open relationship here. We do not discriminate here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Great Whitewood Exotic Animal Park. I can assure you're going to get closer to tigers and lions here than you will anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you're going to get so close.
He's got a lot of personality.
Uh-huh.
T-shirts and gift shops.
All right, everybody. What I need you guys to do is walk right on down the fence line right here. You're going to follow Katrina. We're going to introduce you guys to your first dangerous animal.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but when I got here, I was on kind of the end of my ropes. I found this place on Craigslist. I'm like, man, I ain't never done this shit before. What the fuck? Let's go. And now, I'm doing tiger shows.
I've been the manager of the GW Zoo for 14 years now. Most of the staff was unique. That's what I thought was really, really cool about this zoo. And then there's Joe.
The people who worked with Joe were misfits, and they were a family. It was a place where all these misfits could come together and be with the king of misfits who reigned over them.
Oh, I just noticed those weren't his legs. Like
pretty much the star of his own show.
I've never seen anybody do that before.
So make sure y'all get me some promo pictures in there. No, I want you up front with a still camera.
Meeting him in person definitely solidified that.
Woke up this morning with the sunshine.
Oh, we hear Joe's music. It's a drink.
Your sound is ahead of mine.
For Joe, the zoo was his stage. It was the one place he could shine. He could control every aspect.
Well, I'm in your Netflix party,
From the
right?
start of the day to the end of the day.
I haven't seen you comment. Are you commenting?
No, because
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know that I'm in the party. I don't see the chat.
Oh, uh-oh.
He had this live TV show that he would do for a number of his followers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to JoeExoticTV.com. Yeah,
Where does your TV show air?
on the internet, worldwide, every night at 6 o'clock. Pretty cool. Come on.
Joe had been doing these internet broadcasts either on a regular basis or periodically for probably a decade or longer before I got there.
Didn't Johnny Carson used to smoke on the set of
Yeah,
that show?
years ago.
He never had more than 80 people watching the thing live.
See you Monday night.
When I walked in, I had all this experience. I had a national reputation.
If you watch us often, you know one of our reporters, Rick Kirkham, is nuts. With a mere touch of the flame, it was instant Kirkham kebab.
Hey, Mike, you got the charcoal.
You know, I've done a lot of shit in my life, but I've never experienced anything like Joe Exotic. He knew that I could make him famous. I took it to a new level because I made it look like a real television show.
We did a show every night, and I want to say 9 out of 10 shows was about the animal rights people in Carroll down in Florida.
One thing you're forgetting out there, you animal rights people, especially Carol Baskin, and that's Carol Baskin down at Big Cat Rescue. It was all part of Carol Baskin's plan with Peter and Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin is so influential that Carol Baskin and Carol Baskin.
Man, if he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carol Baskin.
Hi, I'm Carol Baskin, and I'm the founder and CEO of Big Cat Rescue. We're the world's largest accredited sanctuary that is devoted entirely to big cats.
Since 2006, we've been in this pissing match over tigers.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that big cats don't belong in cages.
I kept to myself. I did my own thing. I picked up an Oklahoma newspaper one day, and here's the story about this trashy little roadside zoo. And it was me. Her whole plan is to get her following to believe that we're abusing tigers and running us all out of business.
Your destination is ahead on the right.
Here comes Carol.
Oh, but she's dressed perfectly.
More like this. You may get down so you've got just cat.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay.
What do you think when you look at her, Dalia?
This is Joseph the lion, and he came from a facility in Ohio where I really believe
Sorry. Which one, Carol?
Yeah, which one? Yes.
nasty with me.
What do you think, when you look at her?
Oh, she just walked out.
I don't read the newspaper.
I mean, it's a little over the top, that Earth Mother thing, but I would wear it, so I don't know that I could judge her.
You'd wear it. I feel like I don't know you in these moments.
Except with the animal print. But if I was saving big cats, I mean, it just.
You see how they go from being so sweet to just wanting to tear your face off, and they can do it like that. And it's like, oh, that's amazing to have that kind of range.
I don't know. I'm pretty pro cat,
That
so
kind of range.
I'm with Carol.
Keep watching.
Uh-oh.
Cats. And I know that I'm going to see this through to the end. What really sets apart Big Cat Rescue from a zoo is that we are fixing the problem. They are creating the problem. People like Joe Exotic, what they are doing is breeding cats for life in cages. A tiger needs 400 square miles of territory in the wild. So there's no cage that's going to be sufficient. But the reason that we have...
Are they just making her look like a saint? Are we about to learn some horrible things about Carol?
This was our oldest cat. Black Mamba was a jaguar. Okie was an ocelot. Champlain was a Canada lynx. You're following me again. You want to lead? You can read plaques too.
I think it would be fair to say that Carol is the Mother Teresa of cats.
Oh,
The very first image that my parents had of me in the cradle, it was me and the cat.
Okay, Dalia. So,
oh, you just froze.
whoa, sorry, that was wild. All right, I just paused mine. So I will mute mine.
Well, is this link working? This
your
because
sound
we're
through.
okay.
Because if I'm a minute ahead of you, I clicked that other link, but all it did was like take me back to the beginning, not like where you guys are. Yeah.
So only Emily's been able to get in. I wonder if anyone else is trying to get in.
I don't know, but I don't see the chat. So either way,
no.
we can let your sound override. I just don't want people coming into the Netflix party, they not know where we are. I feel like it's really illegal, like they're to me to stream my screen, but I have no compunction about streaming the sound.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Well, I hope that they can see the link. I wish I would have known that Facebook does that once you start a live stream. I wonder why. Oh, probably so you can see what's going on presently.
Yeah.
Figured that out pretty fast.
Okay. So if you resume yours, we'll just listen to your sound.
Okay.
And take off your headphones, I guess, so that people yeah.
And this is the Tiger King gift shop where I have all of my stuff.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh Lord, he doesn't wear underwear. Of course he doesn't.
Wait, where are you right now? I can't hear your sound.
Oh, you can't? That's so weird. I have it turned up. Let me see where it's pulling the sound from. He's singing on top of a vehicle and talking about his album. Oh, let me see if I can get it over. Why is it doing this to us, MK?
I don't know, but I'll turn my sound. Am I about where you are?
When I first met Joe, I was like a month out of high school.
It's pretty close.
From 2003 to 2014, so 11 years. He showed me love, and I learned how big my heart was and how much to care.
Are you getting this? 3, 2, 1. John's a strong silent type, a man of few words. But what a hug. At the age of 13, I knew I was gay. And I had a bad time struggling with it. When my father found out, he made me shake his hand in front of my mom and promised not to come to his funeral. So I had a real issue dealing with that. And one night I drove my car off a bridge. I broke my back and spent 5 years in braces. I went to Florida to do my therapy. And my neighbor was the manager of Lion Country Safari. And he brought home all the baby lions and baby monkeys and stuff at night to bottle feed. And that's where my attraction to exotic animals really started in. Wow. I know that they have a heart and a soul and a mind. I've learned from them, and they do therapy for me. I see your voice. But that's people that can't have these tigers.
There's a war in America that's being fought for an enormous amount of money. The animal rights activists, they want the lion's share, and they don't want to share their lions.
In addition to Joe, the most notorious cub breeder petting operation is Doc Antle.
Look at that guy.
Antle is much more sophisticated, smarter.
I see you're just a few seconds in front of me. I wonder if I fast forward a little bit. I hope it's not going to totally throw Emily. I'm trying to sync it. I need for somebody to say something so I can figure this out.
50 acres makes up the preserve here.
I'm at 28.
Film, you know, this is my crib here.
Oh.
Front door, and I'll go open it and say, hi.
Oh, it's counting backwards. 28, 50, 49, 48.
If you hover over the red button, what time does it say?
2004.
2004.
Grandfather guru who
2013.
lived with since I was a teenager.
Okay, I'm slightly in front of you. Okay, let me finish. Keep saying it. Not very good at this.
Dr. Bhagavan Antle.
We're just meeting Dr. Bhagavan Antle.
Safari and the rare species fund.
And speaking of incredible animals, joining us is the founder and director of Tiger.
Good afternoon, guys. This is my little girl Bubbles. Look at the pictures there. That it really is Bubbles and
Is he on the
elephant?
Okay. I think I'm almost matched up.
I have been building this incredible preserve for people to have an interactive, up-close, uncaged experience with wildlife.
Now, these big teeth also make it so that he can take down larger prey than you'd expect. Anything's coming out here is a wee bit of a drag.
To see an animal going to chase that high-speed lure, diving into that crystal clear pool, people become
How does the animal feel about that? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm like, he lost me when he rode in on the elephant.
I am popular. I am so well known as Big Cat Guy around the world. The people who are against people having relationships with animals, period, want to destroy me because I am out there in the forefront, so known of being this guy that is in love with big cats and has them love him back.
They want to destroy him, Dalia.
Does he love them? Do you show things that you love them by locking them up and dragging them around for other people's entertainment? I don't think that's how that
Don't
works.
judge. I'm just saying there's some BDSM folks that might be into that.
That's true, but at least they can tell you
They can
when they're not into it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't look too miserable. I don't know. How do you tell if a cat is miserable?
In my opinion, it's the best education tool.
And keep in mind, in the rainforest, there's no escalators. All right?
You know, people only care about saving what affects them. So you set a baby tiger in a family's lap, and they fall in love with this baby tiger, and you have 15 minutes of their undivided attention to say, look, we got to save the rainforest because you.
Oh, okay. That's not a terrible argument.
Whole different attitude.
I will save all my opinions to the end.
We believe these experiences make the connection between them and the wild world, opening their hearts and their wallets for us to do our worldwide conservation work.
What is the cost of admission here?
$339 is the start price, right? There's people that paid $625, $655 for their tours.
Can you believe that?
Today.
What does he mean?
$625 an airline ticket. That's how much it costs to get into his park.
For now, that he's independent from Joe.
Yes.
You can't put a price on holding a baby tiger.
So how much does it cost to go to Joe's park?
I hit the lottery. I'll pay these people whatever they want.
Our third time, second this week. What? Oh boy!
Right when you
so much improper care. We feed super quality food that anyone would be glad to eat themselves. It's a minimum of $10,000 a year to feed each tiger.
I can feed a tiger for $3,000 a year.
You've got how many tigers right now?
I have 227.
So you're spending $750,000 feeding your tigers?
Just feed. We work our ass off in order to drop that price. We have feedlots that give us 5 to 7 cows a day that die in the feedlots. The game wardens and the highway patrol call us anytime they need a cow or a deer gets hit on the highway. If I was to feed nothing but cows, I'd need 30 cows a day.
30 cows a day. 30.
I mean, wow. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere near them after I saw them eat. It doesn't matter how sweet they usually are. It's disturbing.
I'm baby tiger, short and stout. This is my tail.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh.
I'm gonna bite you, and it's gonna hurt. Why will I bite you? Because I'm a jerk.
This was actually me and my brother's dream, you know. In 1997, he was moving my sister from Dallas to Florida, and he made it 40 miles. And a drunk semi-driver hit him.
Who's this?
My brother.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yep. So when I signed the papers to shut his life support machine off and donate his organs, I promised him that he would just not be a statistic, that the people of the world would know who he is. And that's when the GW Exotic Animal Foundation was born, in his memory. My brother, he's an angel. I went to school, so I talked to him about drugs and alcohol, but I couldn't keep their attention. Okay? So I took animals. When we say to drugs, we say no to drugs, that's right. Because drugs make your teeth fall out, and you get really ugly, you don't have any friends. Animals just wasn't enough. So then I started adding magic.
Is that the only reason not to do drugs?
Which actually was pretty cool. He would use animals in it.
He had a 12-year-old kid kind of showing him how to do stuff.
I first met Joe when I was in the 8th grade. I helped in a show down in Norman, Oklahoma. Joe wasn't doing magic. I started showing him some of the magic that I did, and Joe supplied tigers to be used during the show.
We're talking this morning about the upcoming Mystical Magic of the Endangered show. It's coming to the Valley View Mall.
That's when he decided to change his name to Joe Exotic.
My real name is Joe Schropp, but I go by Joe Exotic because nobody ever knows how to say it.
When we first started out, we were all crammed in a semi. 14 of us in a cab of a semi. That's a little cramped.
Today we have a Siberian tiger, an Indo-Chinese tiger, a two-toed sloth, a black panther.
Joe was taking tiger cubs, stick them in a semi, and cart them to malls all throughout the Midwest.
And they would do cub petting.
We can take your picture with this little baby cub.
Look at me! Awesome.
I mean, there was times that we made 10 grand at the mall. And there was times that we were doing 20, 30, 40 grand.
Howard
First
and
up.
Carol hired me at the beginning of 2011 to basically try to track Joe and convince the malls to not allow him to exploit cubs.
We started a program and we would contact the malls and explain to them why this was bad.
At one point, we used someone to follow Joe and report what mall they were going to next.
But the animal's presence isn't only.
It was, part detective work to try to track down Joe and where he was in the country with these cubs.
And they stalk every move you make. Doesn't matter where you are in the country.
They would research it, find the owners of the mall, and email them, text them, call them, send the media out there, everything, just hammer them.
Now, years ago, when Carol first started doing this, we might generate 500 emails.
And be proud of it.
Yeah. And as our online audience grew and our supporter base grew, this gradually got up to thousands of emails, sometimes as many as 5,000 or 6,000 emails. And one by one, these malls started refusing to have him back.
That would pay the bills for the winter sometimes. So it was definitely a big loss for us. But Joe always found a way to make money.
One of the most popular adventures here at the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park is a ticket for you. And that's private playtime with a baby tiger.
Anybody who poses with an exotic cat is a problem. And that just drives more and more and more breeding of these cats who will never live free.
Seth is my favorite character on the show.
On a dating app, the tiger selfie is a growing trend on sites like Tinder and OkCupid, apparently.
Oh yeah, this is how endangered species can save themselves, by helping us get laid.
Wild animals have been brought on to the late night shows.
How do you hold these in? Yeah, I would love
to get your breast.
And when people see that, they want to emulate it.
All right, yesterday on my day off, I went to the GW Zoo. Shout out to Exotic Joe. I got 2 more tigers.
Yeah, look at me how young I am there on Letterman. Man, go back. We might as well do Letterman real quick. Here I am long ago on the Late Show with David Letterman. I've got my big panther there, Shadow. Jay brought us out into the forefront of people. He got to meet my animals like no one else had ever done. The world's biggest cat coming on there, baby tigers, cheetahs, leopards, everybody out there. Enough?
I always assume on these shows they have to be from a rescue. It didn't occur to me that they're from a for-profit place.
I don't remember
Sketchy.
where it wasn't everything I was doing, having animals in my life. I grew up a professional cowboy in a family of professional cowboys.
Ooh, cowboy.
That led me
Drink.
to have a quality life of a lot of interaction with amazing domestic and wild animals. I moved to Yogaville in Buckingham, Virginia.
Buckingham,
I
Virginia.
started immersing myself in that life, and I saw the incredible power of presenting the animals
He's got
without
some good photos, though, I gotta say. Ridiculous.
in all of their power and glory.
They unearthed a picture of him with Britney Spears during her Slave for You performance from MTV in 2003.
What would he have helped with? Did they have animals in
tigers.
that video?
Oh, yeah. She
I
wore the
don't
slave.
remember that.
And there was a tiger in the background. Yeah.
People in other places came to me and said, hey, we need a tiger to do this. We would like a tiger to do that.
You are a good kitty.
I made 500 gigantic international movies, from Ace Ventura, Jungle Book, Dr. Dolittle, Mighty Joe Young. It's a huge list of features that we made.
Today we're going to take those same techniques that Doc created while working with Hollywood's top producers and directors to create for you an amazing animal adventure.
Have you guys had your photo taken already? No, keep coming, keep coming.
The toenails you gotta watch because they rip your face.
Oh, boy. Okay.
6 weeks. From the time they did 4 weeks old to the time they did 16 weeks old, you can profit $100,000 on that cub. Interaction, playtimes, photos.
People who pimp out tiger cubs can only use them from the time that they're a few weeks old until they're about 12 weeks old. And when they get to be that age, they can take a finger off. There are enough ignorant people out there who will then take in that tiger, and a year later, that cat's 200 or 300 pounds, and they're calling us and saying, please get this out of my house. At the same time, there's almost no government regulation of private possession, which I believe is leading to the unbelievable number of these cats in captivity. We have a tiger crisis in this country.
Tiger crisis.
Yeah, there's a lion on Mount Perry Road in Grayshot. It was heading west in a hurry. Looks like a jaguar or a wolf or something.
Zanesville really woke up the public about the fact that there could be dangerous wild animals living right next door to them, and they didn't even know it.
Sheriff Matt Lute said 50 wild animals kept on a private farm had been deliberately set loose.
1 baboon, 3 mountain lions,
and 18 tigers.
Yeah, anything outside the perimeter could definitely get taken down.
Can you
Now
imagine
that
if I
I
saw that
do
on the run?
remember hearing about that.
I'd be terrified if I saw that.
Oh yeah, I'd absolutely be staying inside. And not that that would help if they decided to come inside.
Of ticking time bombs out there, and when those places implode and somebody does something crazy, that will probably push our legislation forward.
48 of his animals were eventually killed, pushing Ohio lawmakers to author a new bill restricting private ownership of exotic pets.
It's not that having lions and tigers is bad unto itself. It is the way he took care of them that made it take place. Properly
That is
managed
so
wildlife
wrong.
can become a great tool for wildlife education. Like this thing.
Arguably the loudest, most defiant voice on the front lines of the big cat debate belongs to this man.
I'm Joe Exotic, and this is Sarge.
The president of the Humane Society called this place, and I quote, a ticking time bomb, and potentially 10 times worse than Zanesville.
It is a ticking time bomb. If somebody thinks they're going to walk in here and take my animals away, it's going to be a small Waco.
That's a pretty powerful statement.
It's a very powerful statement because I have poured my entire life into what I do. Nobody is going to walk in here and freely shut me down and take my rights away from me as long as I am not breaking the law.
You know, I've been sheriff here now for over 8 years, and our community gets its share of crime, drug use, burglaries, domestic assaults. But then there's Joe Exotic. You know, within a year of becoming sheriff, Joe walks into my office. From that point on, it's been nonstop, you know, with the GW Zoo and Joe.
It's just the thing you don't want when you have tigers. It's a real life tornado, and there ain't nothing you can do besides protect yourself.
I've gotten a lot of calls to, you better watch Joe. He's doing this, he's saying that. One of the things that keeps me awake at night is the park.
You're an animal rights person, and you try and come into this facility, this is what you're going to be greeted with.
Joe was very paranoid. When I really realized Joe was potentially dangerous was when he made a comment about this could be another Waco.
That standoff near Waco began as a federal raid, federal agents trying to serve a search warrant.
Our hearts go out to these brave agents who died today in the line of duty.
And I took that as a direct threat that if my office ever had to take some action out there, we were going to have a shootout.
This is my own little town. I'm the mayor, the prosecutor, the cop, and the executioner.
You know, after the Waco deal, me and Joe made a pact. If anything went bad, we were going to shoot each other. And on that day, I put our names on our bullets. Right here, they have my name and his name on a bullet. If anything went wrong, it was going to happen.
What kind of camera guy are you?
Someone like Joe, who is very polarizing, he can draw out people to oppose him.
Fuck yeah!
No, for instance, I mean, I would get a little
Okay, he cursed that episode.
postcard like this addressed to me, picture of Joe with the word evil on it. That was really the point. I realized, you know, there's people that are opposite of what Joe believes in.
I have defended myself since 2006 against people for the ethical treatment of animals. Well, my screen was supported by the help of PETA.
Oh, drink. Said her full name.
Oh.
PETA is unapologetic in its mission to help animals. And we've been targeting Joe Exotic for many, many years. I think that we can't underestimate how dangerous some of these people are.
Agree.
I think that animals are being beat everywhere they go. We didn't beat tigers at our zoo. We sure got accused of it.
Those people are fucking insane, man. Actually, they scare me.
Joe is always armed. There's always a gun at his side.
What do you carry that gun for? People?
Not the cats.
Not the cat. I'd shoot you before I shot my cat. We have 24-hour armed guards. 3 of us wear firearms. That is how bad this has gotten.
I sleep with an AK-47 under my mattress.
I know, I'm kind of jealous of his, he's got a clear sense of what his look is.
And stuff like that, and trying to discredit.
His wardrobe's bananas. I mean, from sparkles to stuff that kind of looks like he's doing some cultural appropriation, but still looks kind of cool. I don't know, but he has a clear view of what his aesthetic is. It's kind of impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Main thing is
And he knows who's on his team.
If you got a tiger in a zoo in a cage, yeah. How you gonna keep him from running downtown and going to 7-Eleven?
Carol, PETA, those characters want to attack everyone. Carol wants to be the last man standing. There can be only one, and it has to be her.
Those are the coolest prosthetic legs I've ever seen, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
If we're abusing animals, I just called her a plain out hypocrite. You're open to the public. You're doing phone tours, night tours, day tours, kid camps, weddings, you name it.
If you're taking photos and stuff, it'd be great if you would use the hashtag Big Cat Rescue. So you can find us there.
I'm going to pause for a second to say, I agree with him on that.
What, that she just wants to make money? Which part?
I'll go more into it.
Okay.
But if this is really a sanctuary, I think it's disgusting to have tours.
I would have to say a hero of mine. She is an awesome advocate for cats.
These animals have a life to live now, a happy life to live.
And I tell everyone, this is like the Ritz-Carlton of animal sanctuaries, because you just do an amazing job.
You have a feeling they're going to blow her cover before the documentary's over.
Both, taking advantage of exotic animals to make money. So to me, it was just a feud.
Carol Baskin.
Not in the way you expect.
Profits over $1.5 million sucking on your heartstrings about shit on the internet that ain't even true.
They are always trying to upset me on social media.
I got a big mouth and television station.
That works.
It seems to be. Why would you give to a facility to rescue animals to live in luxurious cages? Well, how about that one? That mountain lion sticking his head through a hole in the fence in order to drink out of it.
Joe started bashing her. She started bashing him. Getting them all shows canceled. And she put up billboards. And she made this 911 animal abuse site. Joe was one of the top contenders on it.
Carol would now and then put up something online about how Joe's breeding and he's bad and all this, and he would go off on his internet show.
I consider that bitch to be one of the biggest terrorists in the exotic animal world right now. It is financially draining to fight this woman.
To give you a little bit of background on Joe, all you got to do is go to tigercubabuse.com. We got undercover video of him using a 20-week-old cub that jumped on this little boy and bit him on the leg.
She's ruthless. Most of us are not ruthless. People who really love animals are rarely ruthless.
There shouldn't have to be a place that rescues
Not true.
from abuse in this country. What we're asking you to do is champion the Big Cat Public Safety Act.
The Big Cat Public Safety Act would end the ownership of big cats as exotic pets, prohibit exhibitors from allowing the public to have contact with them.
The Big Cat Safety Act, if passed, it will destroy private zoos across America.
For Carol and all of her friends that are watching out there, before you bring me down, it is my belief that you will stop breathing.
It got pretty ugly.
It's Carol's birthday next month, and we're shipping her 2 of these. Look at the things on that.
One day I went out to open up the mailbox and it just exploded with snakes. There are crazy people out there who want to see me dead.
Happy birthday, Joe.
What keeps me up at night is worrying about them hurting a family member to get to me.
It was just a hate. He has a hate for girl. That's nasty hate.
You're making so much noise.
I'm sorry.
You're all right. That's funny. I just thought, what's going on?
I got lost on my run today and ended up going 10 miles. It was 70 degrees. By the time I got home, I was like, beat me over the way.
Oh, 70 out there.
There, got every animal rights person all in one row. Dynamite.
Oh my.
Aim back.
This is a prepaid call from Joe Exotic, an inmate at the Grady County Jail.
Excuse me.
Yeah, things are escalating, that's for sure.
Oh no, they're just starting.
Their soul dies. I'm not going to be accused and go to prison and lose everything I have for things that other people did. Before this is over with, I'm going to shut down on everybody.
With our ever-changing climate in our world today, and you're outside working in the weather elements, when you come in at night and you want to feel good, reach for America's favorite skincare products, Tiger King Skincare. If you have dry, cracked hands, great product for men and women. Tiger King Super Skin Rejuvenating Cream. For a full line of Tiger King Skincare, check out www.shoptigerking.com today.
Okay, crazy.
Crazy. All right. I forgot. I thought this first episode ended with the question about he has more than one spouse. Not talking about Joe. So yeah,
That's a very strong start. I think I'll definitely be finishing this.
I'm
glad at least Emily got into the room.
I'm sorry I didn't. Were there any good comments?
Facebook got us. Yes, Emily's very funny. And I would say I made a lot of good comments too. Emily can back me up, say Dalia is hilarious.
Now I'm hurting that I couldn't see that.
I just didn't know that about Facebook Live, but we're learning every day. I do like that the Netflix party thing is even a thing, but it's new too. So I think some of its functions don't quite work because there's a link on the page. So I should be able to grab the link during the watch party, but it won't work. So anyway, now I know to say.
So I guess we all have to sit in the room until we're sure everyone's come in and then click the link together.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Next time. Well, we answered, or you answered, and Akian answered a deep question, and at least 3 of us got to re-enjoy and first time enjoy episode 1. I'm sure I won't last too much longer before I finish it.
I'm just saying, if you jump into episode 2 as soon as we sign off, you will not be able to stop.
Okay.
You will it'll be like when I got the box set of 24 for the first time, and people were like, "Don't start it on a Wednesday afternoon. Wait until Friday after work." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
I watched that when it was live, so you had to wait, and that was crazy.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, that was a good first season. Okay, I'll report back after I finish.
So these are some of my thoughts as someone who is an ethical vegan for several years, and then just I never completely got off that train. My nutrition needs changed a lot for a lot of reasons that I'm not going to defend, but yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things. I believe the revolution will not be humanized. I think that I have a real issue with all the players in here because the only some really fun. There you go, Emily. I hate that I couldn't have seen the comments too. I feel real left out. It breaks my heart. Ugh, next time. Dalia always has the best comments. I love them, but I love animals so much. My issues with Carol kind of start with the fact that she doesn't talk or demonstrate a lot of interest in the wild or conservation. And so if they're making all this money, what's it for? It's a nonprofit to do what? They're not acquiring animals. I haven't sat down and gone through their 990s, but I have questions about all of the cash that they're generating because as you learn later, they are entirely volunteer based. So if people are just giving them the animals and the numbers just don't add up. There's a lot of money there that isn't really being, so they're spending it on legal fees, I'm guessing, unless they have backing from PETA, which, has an unlimited arsenal. So the only difference between her and Joe is she's not breeding the animals. Which some would argue is part of the conservation process, right? So if you have those super incredibly rare white tigers and snow leopards, that if you had a conservation, that's been the whole idea behind zoos, right? We want to keep, these are endangered species. We want to keep them alive. It's a weak argument, but it's an argument. And she's not even making that. So I have a lot of qualms about.
Well, I'm sure my opinion is going to change by the time I get to the end of it. But at the beginning, anyway, he seems to sincerely think that he's doing what's best for the animals and he seems to love them. But maybe I won't think that at the end. But I think it's kind of like sometimes it doesn't matter if someone believes they love you. If their love is harming you, it doesn't matter what their intention was. And I just don't see how animals that large could ever live their best life in captivity.
Well, I'm the sort of person that doesn't want to go to people's homes because, true story, if they have a cat and they've declawed it, it's really hard for me to keep that friendship.
Now, I had a rescued declawed cat, but I made sure to tell everybody I didn't do that.
No, but if you declawed it because it was tearing up the furniture or something, I'm like,
yeah, nasty.
Can't. It's one thing if the animal rescue is a sanctuary to me that is like a farm in the middle of nowhere with like acres and acres and acres and acres and acres. Like, sure, like I would take that, but I don't know. I mean, and I get that they have to be in cages for the animal's sake. Don't get me wrong. And as long as they're breeding, she's going to be picking them up. But again, there's just so much money that just makes you go, or it makes me go, not like they have to be doing this for free, but their expense base must be relatively low.
Well, I did see on TMZ that people from the show are trying to capitalize on their 15 minutes, and you can pay them like to record video messages for you, and it's like $100, $50.
I've used Cameo before where I got Jerry Harris from Cheer to make the soundbite for my runners and Runner Interrupted. And because I moved so quickly that like the day Cheer came out, I saw it the day they were on Cameo. I was like, go Jerry. So yeah, he doesn't do those anymore.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to see if by the end, if I need one of those, I'll just have to see. I better hurry up before they raise their prices.
Just saying. Well, so Duck Animals Park is even worse, right? So you remember the prices: $330 for part of the day, $650 for the full experience. Some of those people were like, "We traveled here, we're coming twice in a week." So think about like capacity, because later he goes into other numbers, and being me, I jot them all down, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And then you'll see how he runs his business operations too, where I was like, wow.
Well, it already feels fishy knowing that you could be hired to work with films for creatures that can't benefit from all the work that they're doing. It just it screams exploitative.
Yeah. Because like right now, I'm really it's a daily struggle for me, because we're brand new, we're a small business, we can't yet pay people at Fitness Protection, but I was committed to doing that to keep the price low and affordable, and then scale it over time. But there is a plan to pay people. It's not like I intend people to work for free forever or below market rates, and everyone will get paid before I will. I'm very like I believe in that. Ask anyone who's ever run a small business. It's the hard part about getting off the ground. You learn more about Joe's business too. And when you start doing the math, it's like, you need to pay people. You need to pay people.
Well, he already said drugs are bad. They'll make you lose your teeth, which will make you ugly, according to him. And then you won't have any friends. But then he has an employee who sounds like he's very loyal to him, who has no teeth. So I wonder, did he just not want the dental plan, or do you not provide one? And even if you lost the teeth because of previous drug abuse, that doesn't mean you couldn't have gotten a solution if you're being paid properly. But anyway, so a little suspicious. I will definitely watch episode 2 when I sign up.
Yeah, you can totally keep watching, because there's a lot of information in there that the filmmakers were have since this came out, because I can't consume enough about it. They felt awkward about leaving certain pieces in because they couldn't be corroborated. And you find out some of them by the end, like this car accident Joe was talking about, and that he wore his braces for 5 years. No one has corroborated that. Can talk about, I mean, and granted, not to say that just because no one saw the braces doesn't mean they weren't there, but that from the accident to the hospital stay to like none of it.
Yeah. Well, it probably means it didn't happen. But I mean, if it was in the 80s, I don't know, maybe, nah.
Yeah, I mean,
there should be some way to validate that. Well,
I don't know. It's hard, and I'm not an investigative journalist. It's not my thing. But I am from a small town where people love to call you out. And I've been on a platform now for a while where people also love to like poke and look and call me a hypocrite at different opportunities. So I'm always pretty cautious, but I'm very consistent. Like what I say here is what I would say just about anywhere. Yeah, it's funny to me. Again, having been raised in a small town, everybody's in your business. You just know better. I feel like everyone has. And like you think you can control the narrative because there's a camera in your face. It's not how it works.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen when you start editing and you are looking to tell a cohesive story. You're going to have to take things out. And maybe the story that people think they've told you is not the story that you are seeing. So,
and you don't even know what story you're seeing yet. Okay, we just finished episode 1.
Well, I'm going to report back.
Please do. If you have more comments while you're watching, keep the screen open and just keep putting them like instead of live tweeting, we want your live commentary on this Facebook thread.
Okay, that's a great idea. And Emily is awesome. Next time, I'm going to do better about this link business. So anyway.
It's okay. If she wants to hang out, if Emily wants to hang out for episode 2, I'm going to go hug my kids, and then I'm going to be coming back for episode 2 because it's time to watch this all the way through.
Can we end this live stream and see if then we can get the link, or maybe I'll be able to post another link and then we can all get in there.
I'll end the live stream. I've got like one last question that just came in during this because I forgot to shut Hi, MK. I'm slowly getting back at it. Right now, I can't handle any failure, so I'm aiming at just getting out the door more days than not. I'd like to say I'm in lane 1 of rebuild, but the reality is I'm not yet there. Aside from refocusing, I'm just rebuilding my habit. What is your recommendation for the most important thing for me to do in regards to running? As always, gratefully coached and loved, Melissa. Yay, Melissa. So what I truly recommend here is giving yourself space. I hate it when people talk about like giving yourself grace, because that's not how it works. Grace is just there for you to take. It's not something that we can give. That's not anyway, but that's that niggle aside. Be proud every day when you reclaim a little bit for yourself. That's the whole idea here. You can go as many days as you want to, from 30 to 60 minutes with your heart rate under 140. And so for you, just building the habit, I think the of all the habits that lead to a running habit, the biggest one for you is going to be saying yes to yourself and having those starting cues in your life so that the opportunity presents itself, you're ready to go out the door and you're ready to say yes to it. So there are a lot of things that stars that sort of have to align for a run to happen each day, for, you know, even more so if you're a single parent. And which I am most of the time when my husband travels. He's home all the time now, so my runs just kind of happen like whoop, whoop, YOLO. So, but I've had to get myself back into that habit too, of being like, oh, but this run has still got to get done, because I'm like, oh, I can run whenever I want. My husband's here, but then it's 5 o'clock. You know, everybody wants dinner and snuggles, and I haven't got for my run yet. It's a thing. So I tell you all that to tell you this: start where you are, and just try to, as we reform that habit. More than ever, don't worry about what you missed. Celebrate what you do. Jump into those accountability threads as much as you can, because just saying, hey, yeah, I did it, and having the rest of the community wrap itself around you and say, yeah, you did, can be enough of motivation to keep coming back. Because at the end of the day, most of the things that we do as parents, it's work that no one else sees. It's invisible emotional labor. And more often than not, our kids don't appreciate it in that moment, and our spouses might not either. When it comes to this, you're going to need people celebrating everything that you do for yourself, because you're not going to get it anywhere else. And that's really what Fitness Protection and Coached and Loved is all about. Is about the validation that keeps you coming back, that keeps you advocating for yourself and reclaiming your time and your space and your place, not just in the running world, but in the broader world in general. I know you know exactly what I mean by that. So start where you are. It doesn't, you know, if you want to name it, sure, it's lane 1 of rebuild, but really what matters is that where you are is doing something for yourself for the first time in a long time and building it in order to last. And that's going to come with time as we look back and look at everything that you did. So keep counting the wins so that we can celebrate them with you, and don't worry about what you miss. Know that you are coached and loved 24/7, and you're winning at life since the day you were born. And I'm so, so, so glad that you're still here with us. Yay. So Dalia, before any last words before you go?
I mean, you nail it every time. Sorry, I am sending messages about Joe Exotic to people who've already seen it. But
okay, I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yes, and we'll log out and start another watch party.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be on standby in the Facebook threads. Y'all coached. You are loved. Oh, thank you, Emily. We hopefully see you for episode 2. But if not, we get it. I want to experience some of that sweet, sweet chat that I missed. Oh well. Oh well. Good night, all.